Alright, so if you own an E36, you probably know that these things are probably the worst things in the world. These goddamn door panels. And they're the worst for a various amount of reasons. So yeah, today we're trying to fix all those issues. I have a bunch of things that hopefully will remedy all my problems. I'll show them to you guys real quick. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna be fixing is this door handle right here. So this thing has a tab right here and this tab right here. This screws in and this kind of goes into the door frame itself. On mine, this is broken. And so my door literally does not open from the inside. I'm always having to reach out from the outside. This was not the cheapest thing. If you have a Lux package like I do, you're screwed because you gotta buy this chrome one. If not, you're stoked. I think it's like 15 bucks for a new one. Anyway, after that's installed, I have this upper door panel mounting piece. Most of you guys probably know there's that upper piece that mounts onto the door frame itself on the door panel, and those are made of plastic, and after 20 years those things break like hell. And so this is a solution that someone made on eBay, which I'll link below. I'm pretty sure they want you to mount this into the door frame first and then glue it onto the door. And for that, I bought this stuff. Apparently it works pretty well, so I'm gonna test the method of putting this on the door frame itself and putting the glue on the door panel and then setting it that way. And as always, you're gonna want to get a bunch of these door panel clips because these literally break every time you do this. I bought these from Pelican and they came loose like this, but they are OEM. And I recommend that you get the OEM ones because I bought the aftermarket ones and they suck. So I'm gonna get started. All right, so to get the panel off, it's pretty simple. On the door, there's gonna be these two little plastic covers you gotta pop off. And underneath those are gonna be these two Torx bit screws right here. Once you do that, you gotta take this door handle plastic cover off. Since mine's all messed up, of course it was already off. And once you do that, you pretty much just kinda have to pry from behind the door and pop the door panel off. I think maybe 1 or 2 clips were holding mine in. So super simple for me, but for you guys, you just gotta pry it off. If you're doing this in the first place and putting that piece on, that top part's not even gonna be mounted, so you could kind of pry from there. And yeah, to no surprise, this plastic piece had come off the door panel, so gotta repair that as well. To get started, I am going to replace the door handle like I told you guys before. You guys are gonna have these wires. Make sure you unplug everything from the door panel. And you guys will probably have this kind of like foam piece too, which you can just remove for now, just to make everything easier. All right, so this is what I'm talking about. So the door handle's mounted right here, right? Albeit very loose. And that's because this tab is broken. It's supposed to slot into this portion right here. As you can see, it's just loose flopping around. And this makes it so you can't open the door. Because every time you pull this thing, it's just, there's no back pressure, so you're literally just pulling this whole thing. It's not gonna pull this correctly. So yeah, this is another Torx bit head right there. So I'm gonna remove that, and then this thing should just kind of pop out. All right, so this is a T20, just so you know. Keep this screw, you're gonna need it. This is what I was talking about, completely broken off. So it's time to get the new one and mount it back up. Here's the new one here. Should just mount right back up. All right, so problem 1 fixed. This should fix all my unlocking issues. I'm telling you guys, if you don't like working on old cars like this, stupid problems like door panels, do not buy an E36. It's all fun and games till you're doing this. All right, that feels good. On to the next thing. All right, so I got how this panel is gonna be mounted up in the car. It's just mocked up for now. As you can see, all the slots on top, this thing just goes directly into that. I did have to kind of get a mallet and hit it in because it's a really tight fit, which is a better thing. But yeah, you guys can see the way it's gonna mount. This is gonna mount onto the door panel, and so you're gonna need to get a really strong adhesive that's gonna stick to that. Now, moving to the door panel. These are what the original mounting points look like on top. And so there used to be tabs right here that would get those slots inserted into, but as you can see, they're all broken and half of them are missing. It's time to just yeet these things off. If I can. Anyway, we gotta take all these off, clean this off, and then this is where I'm gonna be putting the epoxy. And I do need to re-adhere this. That's life for you. That's the E36. All right, so I'm gonna get going on that, and then I'll check back in after I make some progress. All right, so I got all the old mounting points off here. And next up, I have some sandpaper, and I'm gonna go ahead and sand all this down. That way the adhesive can stick even better. I also took all the door clips out, all the old ones, because I have a bunch of new ones anyway, so you just replace those every time. So I'll sand all this down, lay some adhesive down, and then stick it on the car. Alright, so I taped the door panel up like this. I don't really remember where the last clip left off. It was probably me struggling with this damn thing, but I taped the door panel on just to make sure that the glue was able to set properly. It's been a few hours. They definitely want you to keep this overnight, but I gotta drive to work, so I'm just gonna take all of it off now. And it's definitely a good tip when you tape this on to make sure that the door panel is on the frame of the door really well. That way, you know, the glue sets where it should. And I mean, it's only been a few hours, but as you can see, it's not separating at the top anymore. I have to glue the sides too, so I'm gonna take these off. But yeah, this is it. The gap at the top is much better. You guys obviously saw how it was before, and it's not separating anymore. I'm not really gonna test it right now, but yeah, it's much better than it was before. The top's actually in place. Now when you close the door, it doesn't rattle like hell. The side of the door panel is in properly too. So yeah, that's that for the door panel repair. And I'll be sure to leave the link to this repair piece in the description, so if you guys have the same problem, you can pick that up. I think that about does it. So thank you guys for watching. Adios.